So we're going to start, okay?
Yes.
And I guess whoever comes can jump in at the. So today we're going to be talking about the 8th life area in the Bagua called legacy. And in traditional feng shui, it's called the descendants, where the children. But in pyramid feng shui, it's extended. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen, okay? And we will start the slideshow. Could everybody please mute yourselves?
No, now. Oh, so now.
The cover page, Zoom Feng Shui with Millie Reed. If you don't see it, could you unmute yourself and let me know? Okay. Jose? Do you hear me? Hello? Is everybody hearing me?
I am hearing you.
Okay. All right. So let me share again because I wasn't quite sure if you could hear me. Okay. So here we go. So please mute yourself like I asked before. This way you can have your own discussions and it doesn't interfere with the presentation. And utilize the chat for comments and questions. And then when I'm at the point where I will break the slideshow, I'll take a look at your questions and we can discuss them. At the end of the presentation, there will be a Q&A session. So we will expand there. And when we do have a discussion, please be considerate of the time constraints of the workshop so that everybody can make a comment and we can answer all the questions, okay? Thank you. So brief review is what is the Bagua tool and how can we use it? And as I've told you before, and this is basically for the new people that are on, you identify the life areas in your home that affect your life and you help to find out what it is that you have there and what adjustments you need to make and what items you can put in that area. And that Bagua tool you can use over anything. It's like a map that you put over the map of your home, desk, apartment, your business, etc. And today we're going to be discussing this part of the Bagua legacy. And I want to present to you what the Bagua really looks like. And this is just a very, very simple presentation of it. Usually there are lines that create this little space here. And there are a lot more things that are to be considered in that space, but we're making it very simple and basic. So when you finally see the real Bagua, that's the shape that it is, and the areas are all around it. So the pyramid feng shui bagua is the same tool as the traditional bagua. People keep on asking me, oh, but is it different? No, no, it's not different. It's the same, with the exception that it's just updated, right? And the update refers to life as we are living it today. So, like I told you before, Shui calls it the legacy. And as you can see there, the reason that it is called Descendants is because it includes much more than just your work product, your hobby, your food creations, your imagination. Okay, so remember, when you enter your room or you enter your home, this Bagua area is going to be to the far right wall and in the middle of that wall. So that will be your legacy gua as you enter the room. All right, so it sits between the relationship and the helpful people Bagua. And it's no accident that it has been placed in this sector, since you need a good relationship to produce children, and you need helpful people to support you with your children, whether your children are physical children or your children are products of your work or hobbies or creations, etc. All right, remember the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and so it is with anything you produce, okay? And you might be asking, well, why are children included with creativity? The reason children are included in creativity is because they are the ultimate manifestation of creating, bringing into existence something from your intent. Remember that your thoughts are energy and therefore can be transformed into a physical reality. The physical reality is the child, okay? The physical reality is what you produce. So that's the epitome of creating, all right? So children, they are your physical descendants. Your product work, what you produce as a means of making a living. That's your work product. Your hobby products, whatever you produce as a hobby, things that you like to do, all right? Your talents, whatever you produce with your talents, such as music, if you write music, art, if you produce any art, writings, if you write books, if you write poems, if you write essays, articles, etc. Okay, so that's part of what your talent produces. And food, some people say, well, how can that be? You know, well, you can create original recipes, creative recipes. You can cook meals and produce nutritious things for your family. That's part of what you are giving to the world, you're giving to your family, part of your legacy. You know, you hear people say, oh, this is my grandma's recipe. She made the best brownies, etc. Well, that's part of your legacy, all right? And your imagination, what you create based on your ideas, such as a business, an invention, etc. That's all part of legacy.
To go vote for 2 Republicans.
So, here are the important aspects of the legacy gua, all right? So the first aspect I'm going to address is the children aspect. You know, when we get to be in our 30s or 40s and we begin to ask ourselves, well, what's our life's purpose? You know, why am I here? Some people feel that they're struggling so much. So, you know, what is it that they're supposed to do in this world? Okay. So if children will be part of your legacy, how can you address that? Okay. Sometimes when you either are single or married and are at a certain age, you feel that you want to have children, but you're having difficulty thinking about how that can happen if you don't have a partner, or if you do have a partner, why isn't it happening, or should you or shouldn't you, so this is the area that you have to pay attention to when you're wondering about that. Also, you have children already and you want a good relationship with them. How can you foster good relationships with your children if you're having difficulty and you think that you're doing everything that you can to have a good relationship with your child? Okay. This is also the area that you focus on if you have a child that is having difficulties, what difficulties may be. All right. And this is also the area that you focus on when you have a child that you believe is difficult to deal with. All right. So that's the first part of this GWA that pertains to whatever it is that you have in this area, addressing that issue of children, physical children. Right. Now, another thing that you can address in this area is a business. If you have given birth to a business, if you've created a business, if you've opened up your business, that business is your baby. All right. And this is where you address the success of that business. Any difficulties that you may be having in that business, such as, if I want to do what I love as a business, but don't know how to do it. Well, some people have a lot of different interests and they absolutely love to do a lot of different things, but they also would like to work for themselves and not for somebody else. How do you bridge the gap? How do you create a business out of something that you love? So this is the area that you would focus on for that. And if you do have a business, and you're having problems concentrating on what to do, and you feel that you're overwhelmed because there are too many things, that's the issue here. I can't seem to focus on completing tasks. So this is where you look in your home, in your bedroom also, to figure that out. So an issue might be that you need to improve productivity, whether it's in your business or in other areas of your life. This is where you look. Okay. I need to be more creative with the business. Remember, this is also the GWA for creativity. So this is the area that you have to focus on to determine what you need to place in this area to focus you on being creative with your business. And sometimes you might say, well, I find budgeting very challenging and it's affecting my profits. Well, this is also the area where you focus on. And there are other areas on the Bagua that can support what you do here so that it's not challenging for you to deal with the finances of your business. Okay. And then you can think about how you can become creative so that you can do a better job at finances with your business and make it successful. Another area is doing what you really love. This is an area that's supposed to help you have fun in your life. All right. So I want to do what I love, but still make a difference in the world. A lot of people are struggling with that. They just don't want to be seen as a person that is selfish and just wants to have fun. They also want to make a difference, not only in their family and friends' lives, but in the entire world. So you might be thinking, well, I want to start a foundation. All right, because I want to be able to help others in this particular area. All right. Or I want to write a book because that's how I think that I can help people and I can reach so many more people because I have important things to say, important things to share, and that's how I can help the world become better. All right. Or I want to create music. I want to learn how to play an instrument for self-enjoyment. All right. Well, in creating music, you also create happiness for other people because other people will enjoy that. So you're also helping other people. I want to do more creative things. You want to learn how to be creative, how to produce things, how to craft, how to decorate, how to improve your environment to be more pleasing to the eye, to your eyes, to your comfort. All right, I want to develop my own style of dressing. This is the perfect place for a walk-in closet or for a closet where you have your clothes and you have all the colors of the rainbow and you can organize it and see what you have and be able to choose what it is that you want to dress to feel comfortable, to feel happy, or to go to that business meeting, or to go to a concert, to go to the theater, to go out to dinner, to be with friends, to go out to bike ride. So right here, that closet is very important. And there's a whole area of feng shui that addresses the act of choosing clothes for whatever purpose you want to accomplish. All right. But this is the area where it would be perfect to have a closet there. I want to do things that make me happy. So whatever it is that you want to do, you have to figure out what that is that you want to do. And here we see, kids' hands with paint, and that's sort of fun and creative. Here is a person thinking so many things in the mind. So this is where you begin to flesh out the cobwebs in your brain and try to focus on what it is that you want to decide on in these areas. Well, here is a senior citizen playing an instrument. You might have wanted to learn how to play the instrument that most attracted you, but never were able to. Well, now you have a chance, right? Here is crafting, bicycling, and writing a book. These are all just some of the things that you can think about when you look at this section of your home. All right, I am going to I pause. So when we look at this part of our home, all right, we should be looking at what we have in that section of our home, the room that is in that part of our home. When we look at our bedroom, we should look at that wall, the far right wall, what you have in the middle of that wall. If you want to focus on something, the bedroom is where you focus on. If you want to make it stronger, then you have to give it a chance to work. And then if you want to support it even more, you look at your public area, the section of creativity and children, the legacy section, to see what you have there. All right. So far, you can unmute yourself and ask questions at this point before I go to the part of things that you can put in there and why. Any questions?
I have a very interesting question, Ellie. When you showed the picture of the Bagua, it didn't look like a pyramid. It looked like an octagon, a circle.
It is an octagon. It is an octagon. All right. And it's divided into 8 outer equal parts. And the middle is an octagon itself.
Oh.
So that's the 9th part. All right.
Oh.
Yes. Any other questions?
What is in the middle? What is in the middle, Millie?
What is in
almost
the
done with
middle
the
is
middle.
the last Gua health.
Ah,
Okay.
Ah,
thank you.
All
thank
right.
you.
So, all right, you're welcome. Okay. So if there aren't any questions, then I will go directly to what you can place in this Gua. But before I do that, I want to review with you the following. Okay. Please remember that the choices that you make about what you decide to place in your environment has tremendous effects on your life, okay? Not only in the feel of the space, but also in real life day-to-day experiences. It's not just when you are home, but when you're out into the world, that whatever you have in your home is still affecting you, okay? So you have to be very careful with what you place and where you place it in your home. When you place the items that you have in the correct place and use the correct colors for the goals that you want to achieve, then the world opens up to you because you are creating balance, okay? So keep in mind all the factors I've mentioned when selecting any of the items you want to place in your legacy Gua. So before you decide what to place, I can't, yeah, that's not a problem. It's okay. But really, when you are living in this space, you get so used to what is in the space that you don't really see it with fresh eyes. So I am asking you to please, the first thing that you do is look at the area with fresh eyes, as if you've never seen it before. Be objective, all right? You have to clean the space. It should be a thorough cleaning of the clutter, of the dust, of the dirt. All right? No broken items or malfunctioning items. All right? You need to make sure that there isn't anything broken or functioning improperly, such as the drawers of a cabinet, all right, that you might have there. Doors, if you have a door there, even a door to a closet, that not only should the door be functioning properly, but it shouldn't be blocked, okay? And that it is hanging properly, okay? And what do I mean by that? I mean that, sometimes the hinges will get loose. Make sure that the hinges are tight and that the door is hanging properly. If you have windows, those windows should not be blocked, all right? And they should operate properly. Make sure that that area does not have any missing moldings. Look at the baseboards, look at the ceiling, make sure that it is perfect. All right, it's painted properly, it has baseboards, it has no missing moldings. Okay, so after you do all of that, you look at it with fresh eyes and you evaluate what you have there. You look at the space with feng shui eyes as if you've never seen it before, with what you have learned in this workshop and in the previous workshops. Okay, so the items that you can place in this area really are only limited by your imagination and the goals that you have for your life. There should always be something that you are involved in, that you are interested in, that you are working on, or that you are enjoying. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go to what you can place in the Gua to enhance I'm sorry. This should not have been relationships. I have to fix that. Hold on. It should have been, okay. So I made a mistake here. It's not relationships. It's legacy. All right. So I want you to take a look here. And on the upper left-hand corner, you see flowers that are white and yellow. This is one of the things that you can place there because the colors of this gua are white and yellow. And you see the number 7 here. That's the number of that gua. So you can have 7 items there and use those 2 colors, the white and the yellow. If you want to be more creative, well, you can place something in there like this scrapbook magazine, if you want to do scrapbooking, or these items that are for crafting. That's if you want to focus on getting into a hobby or doing something that you absolutely love. Over here is a music sheet on the lower right hand side. If you want to get into music, into really creating music, writing music, well, this is an example of what you might put there. You might frame in a white metal frame, you might frame a music score. Why do I say metal? Because metal is the element of this gua, all right? Over here, you have musical instruments. You can also put up on a wall a guitar or the musical instrument that, a symbol of the musical instrument that you want to learn or want to play or enjoy. If you enjoy playing the piano, there should be artwork with the piano, okay? Or a photograph of someone playing the piano. This is also a place where, very interestingly enough, you see all these electronics. This is the wall and this is the area where you would place electronics, all right? You can put a TV there, you can put a computer there. Just don't put these communication electronics in the bedroom. Put them in the living room or in an office, in another room, all right? So when you enter the room, that far right middle area, that's where your electronics should be, okay? Plants. You can have plants in a ceramic pot, all right? Anything that is made from earth in a clay pot, because metal and earth, those are the 2 elements in this area. Always, always have great lighting. Here I have lighting for a night table. It won't be in your eyes, but it'll shoot up illumination and up and down, okay? If you are looking to have children, then put a picture of your nieces and nephews if you have, or of children playing. Here I have 2 pictures just to give you an idea of what you can put in there if you want to focus on having children. This is also an area where you can keep a scrapbook, you can keep a camera, all right, to help you be creative in your hobby of photo taking and keeping an organized book on the photos that you take. That will motivate you to do that and to be more focused with that. I also have a photo here of a square pillow with a round decoration on it. Well, the shapes that should be placed in this gua are both round and square. So anything round, anything square, anything white, anything yellow, anything made of metal, earth, you can use plants, or you can use a picture of a landscape depicting a scene of nature, which gives you the element of earth. And over here on the bottom left-hand corner, you see bells. Bells are very interesting because bells um, disturb negativity. What do I mean by that? I mean that if anything is stagnant and you ring a bell, that bell's sound goes out and disturbs the a stagnant environment. All right. It when you also ring a bell, it creates a stimulation for creativity, so it can motivate you. It can also clear a space. All right. It's a form of gratitude also. You know, sometimes when you in the old days, you would go into a store and they would have a cash register, and every time that they made a sale and they put in the money, in order to open up the drawer, they would have to hit a button and that button would ring. So it's a gratitude for the money that is coming in. That was the way that that bell was used. And a bell can activate your creativity and focus you on the task at hand. Okay. Um, I was watching a cartoon with my young granddaughter the other day, and um, there was a little skit where someone used a whistle or bell, and immediately the kids stopped and paid attention, you know. So a bell stops you from what you are actually doing in the moment and refocuses you. All right. So a bell is, I would highly suggest that you have a metal bell in this area because it's a symbol of the elements that's supposed to be there, and you can play it at any time, ring it. It'll clear the space. It'll help you become focused. All right. Um, so also you can have white curtains in this area. Okay. If you have a bed, the headboard would be a good idea to put in that space, all right? So that it's in an area of creativity. Symbols of creativity, what you treasure as a very creative item that attracts you, all right? So you want to be creative, but you think that you can't be creative and you're admiring someone else's creativity. Well, put a symbol of that in this area and help you focus. That'll help you focus on that particular item, and you'll begin to think, well, you know, how can I make that? And you'll figure it out because your creativity will begin to kick in. And the first thing that you'll be thinking is, okay, well, let me deconstruct this. Let me see how this can be made. And you begin to think and maybe even come up with something that's even better than what you have been admiring. All right. Okay. So if you, for example, I love card making. You can put the cards that you create there, like on a little shelf, and you can admire the products that you have produced. You can also have plants, real plants, like I said before, no cactus. All right. Fun stuff, things that remind you of having fun or things that you enjoyed as a kid. This is the area to display that. Okay, you can display a picture of yourself having fun as a kid, doing something fun. This is also the area where you would put games, toys, um, also fun quotations involving creativity, involving children, involving whatever it is that you want to focus on that pertains to this gua. Artwork depicting one of your wishes. What is it that you are wishing for, that you want to accomplish, that you want to do? Well, find a piece of artwork that depicts that, as long as it is positive. And you can frame it in a white wooden frame, and that would give it even more strength because you are using two of the elements, all right, wood, and you're using the color white, all right. This is also the area where you may want to relax and listen to music to enjoy it more, okay. White or yellow flowers in a metal container will raise your mood, will help you feel happy. So try that, white and yellow flowers, okay? Round or square items. You can use square frames, you can use round rocks, paperweights, you can use round pillows, you can use a small metal globe. If you really want to travel, this is the area that you can incorporate like a little metal globe. So this is something that you want to do for fun, and you're also supported by the travel gua, okay, which was the very first gua that we discussed. So as you see, there are many, many things that you can place in this gua. Okay. Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
Millie,
Okay.
I have a question with the
Let's
color
see.
yellow.
Yes,
I-
it can be gold. It can be gold. It can be any tone of yellow, and gold, especially since this area's element, one of the elements, it has two elements, earth and metal. So silver, gold, these are metallic colors, okay? You can use that, and gold is part of the yellow spectrum, okay? So you can use mustard, you can use yellow. Look at the tones of yellow. Those are the colors that you can use. Does
Millie,
that answer your question?
yes, I have
Jose?
another. Yes,
Did that
I
answer your
have-
question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But I got one other question, and that's the new Chinese year. It's the sign of
Right.
the ox, but it's a metal year.
Metal. I'm sorry?
Did you hear my question?
No. Could you
Okay,
repeat it?
yeah. Next year is the sign of the ox.
This year.
This year, coming up.
We are already in 21.
Oh, okay. You're right.
All right.
Okay, but it's
The
what I'm
metal
saying.
ox. It's the year of the metal ox.
Yes, explain metal, because I truly don't understand that part.
Okay. So in feng shui, which is another series of workshops, in feng shui, there are 5 elements, okay? There's fire, there's water, there's wood, there's metal, all right? And the 5 elements have their characteristics, okay? And their strengths and their weaknesses. So it's like a circle, and the elements are placed in a creative way where they support each other, or they can be in a destructive way where they destroy each other. For example, water produces metal, okay? But fire can melt metal, okay?
Oh,
So,
yes.
so when you use metal, earth supports metal, earth's wood and the color white. White represents metal, okay? So that's why you would use those two as a symbolic element, as symbols of those 2 elements, okay?
Yes.
So it's very difficult to sort of describe very quickly, because that is a whole other area of feng shui, the elements and how to use them in your home with the items that you choose in each gua to support that creative cycle, because you want your whole house to be fully feng shui. And this is where a professional can come in, all right? This is where you really need a professional to look at everything that you have in your home and the creative and destructive cycles that exist in your home, okay? So when I have given you items and recommendations of what can go in these areas, they follow the supportive cycle, okay? Not the destructive cycle. All right?
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Is it best to limit the amount of items for your gua? Absolutely. In feng shui, there's a fashion icon that some of you may be familiar with. Her name is Iris Apfel. And when she has been photographed and you see her in magazines, she's very famous, and she's famous for the round glasses, the black brown round glasses that she uses, huge black frames. She's in her 90s, late 90s, and she is still a fashion icon. And her motto is, the more, the better. Okay. When you look at her home, when you see pictures of her home is so jam-packed with so much visual stimulation, okay? It doesn't bother her. She loves it, okay? But in feng shui, excuse me, in feng shui, less is more, all right? So if you keep things as simple as possible and you use the number for that gua, that'll be most effective, okay?
Right.
Any other questions? No more questions?
Yeah.
No?
See.
Okay, well, let me tell you now what you should not place, what you should not have in this space, okay? So that you're aware. Well, first of all, you should not have clutter, dust, or dirt, okay? No broken items, no malfunctioning items. You should not have anything that depicts seriousness, okay? Serious quotations, any financial records, anything that depicts singleness, one single thing. There shouldn't be anything that symbolizes being alone, okay? No empty containers in this area either, okay? No symbols of fire, no fire in this place, no candles, no fireplaces, anything that burns like incense or burning oils, a heater, a triangular item, those things should not be in this area, all right? All those things symbolize fire, and that's part of the destructive cycle that you should not have in this area, all right? No red items in this area, okay? No pointy items in this area. Again, that symbolizes fire. No cactus, no wallpaper depicting chevrons or triangles or peaks. If you have wallpaper, you shouldn't have that depicting, I'm sorry? Someone said something? Okay, so so those are the things that you should not have in this area. The number for this gua is 7, all right? So you can have a collection of 7 things as long as they're the things that you want to focus on for this gua. White and yellow are the colors to use. As I said, metal is silver, and the metal is the element. The color silver would be best because the color white is the color of this gua. So the white metal is silver, all right? And earth feeds metal, okay? So that's why you would have a white wooden frame up on the wall in this area, because they're supporting each other, all right? So I've already given you some tips for activating the gua, but just look at it with fresh eyes. That is so, so important. Take your time. When you choose something, take your time and think about your choice analytically, all right? Think about it this way. Think about the goal that you have and whatever it is that you're choosing. Think about it as if you're choosing it for somebody else and you really want it to work for that person. So you have to think analytically. What does it symbolize? What does it mean? Is it the right material? Is it the right color? Is it the right size? Is it something that I should have here? What does it symbolize? If somebody else were to look at it, what would be the first idea that would pop into their mind about it? Okay, so those are the questions that you should be asking yourselves, so that whatever object you put in this space represents you personally and the goal that you want to achieve. Like I said, keep it simple. Less is more in feng shui. Make sure that your symbols represent only your intention and only your wish. And what do I mean by wish? Is a goal that you want to achieve, something that you want, all right? And what is your intention? When you place it there, make sure that you say out loud what your intention is, okay? I am placing this sheet of music and this white wooden frame on the wall here because my intention is to begin to write music. That's what you do, okay? So you identify your goal, you identify what you want, you identify your intention, and as you place it, that's what you do, okay? Use what you have. Look around your home. You don't have to buy things. I am sure that everybody has things in their home that they haven't used or are using them in rarely or just on special occasions. Forget about special occasions. Take the stuff out and use it on a daily basis, okay? Use what you have. Look throughout your house and figure out what you have that you can use, all right? So you're going to be looking at things with a new pair of eyes, of fresh eyes. So you should find something really in your home that you can use in this area. And refresh your symbols. I would say like every 3 months, take a look and move something, refresh them. You have a question, Jose?
You know, I have a guitar in you know, the bag in my house, and I've been meaning
Uh-huh.
just to get it out of the bag and just try to play. Just try to play. That's something I've been thinking I can do, because you could do lessons on YouTube.
Right. So you can hang that guitar in this area on the wall with some sheet music for guitar, or just the guitar itself. That'll help you to focus and remind you, you know, to start doing it, you know, start doing what you love.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay. No more questions?
It's the new year. That's what it is.
This is also an area that you might want to focus on. If you want to be more childish, you know, if you want to have more fun like children do, all right? So think about it that way. The fun things that you want to do in life, okay? Any more questions?
I think Lizzie had a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
I thought she did.
I have a few comments.
Excuse me.
I have a few comments. I've been thinking about use what you have, and especially because my mother passed away and I have a house full of her objects, and I've been thinking, what am I going to do with them? And one thing I thought of was she has beautiful silverware. And I thought, you know what? It just sits there. I should bring it here and use it every day, even though it's really
Absolutely.
fancy and all that. So it's a, you know, and
Yeah.
as I say, you figuring out what to do with all her things that she loved, and she was an anti-clutter person. So the things she has really meant something to her. And so I have to be inspired by her house
Absolutely.
as I clean
Absolutely.
it. So
A word of advice, when you use the silverware on a daily basis and you put it in the dishwasher, don't put any other metal in there.
mhm. I was
Okay,
wondering about that.
because if you don't, if you put the silverware in the dishwasher with other metal, the other metal can corrode it. So just the silverware as metal in the dishwasher, okay?
Okay.
And believe me, people use silverware every day, and it develops a beautiful patina, and it's just
Yeah.
fantastic just to be able to enjoy something that you have from your elders.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
it says here, in my area, I have a saddle just because the look of it is appealing. Love the leather. I guess it's okay. Could it represent adventure? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, if that is something that you are looking at, that it reminds you of being adventurous, yes, absolutely. And it's something that is made from a natural material. It's on a wooden stool, absolutely. Okay. Anybody else with a comment or a question? Okay, so next week,
My,
Never mind.
okay, Lizzie, go ahead.
I also just wanted to say that you really got my attention with the bells, because I thought that was really interesting about it, you know, disturbing negativity, because I grew up in a town where there was a classic New England church, and every hour they rang the bells for the hour. And they also had a choral music once in a while. And also every day at noon, the fire station rang a whistle, so that, and it got it was like everyone stopped their day and said, okay, it's noon, we know now. And and my mother had a bell. If we were outside playing and it was time for dinner, she rang a bell. Instead of shouting at us, she would ring the bell and we'd have to come in for dinner. So I really enjoyed hearing about the bells. That was
Yeah.
really great. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. I had a similar experience, Amy, when I was a child. My mom lived in Manhattan, in New York City, and at noon there was a siren that was always played. I think it was from the fire department in our neighborhood at 12 o'clock every single day. So it sort of focused you, made you stop whatever it was that you were doing and remember, this is noon, time for lunch or whatever. So they used to do that back in the 60s, ring a bell in the neighborhood. It was usually either the fire department, the police department, some government agency at 12 o'clock. Absolutely. Yeah. And in some places, they were church bells that would ring at 12 o'clock. And then they would hit 12 times to remind you that it was 12 o'clock. So that is interesting. It definitely has a psychological effect on you. All right. It helps you to stop what you are doing and focus on something else. Okay. Jose?
Yes.
Oh, Amy. There's a comment there. It says it's a song, Ring Them Bells.
Check it out on YouTube.
Jose?
No. I didn't have a question.
Okay. Yeah, in feng shui, there are bells that are called feng shui bells. All right. So they're sort of flat and they're made from 7 metals and they are connected by a piece of leather. And what you do is you click them together on the sides and you separate them. And that sound goes throughout it. It just expands in circles, like when you throw something into the water, you see the circles that it creates. Well, sound does that also. And what it does is it goes out into the space and it clears the space of any bad energy, anything negative. All right. So it's used a lot in feng shui. It's used to clear the room before you start working, to focus you, and to calm you down also. Okay. All right. So next week, our workshop is going to be on the last gua. It will be on health. And health is the middle guas. So that is the most important of all because it connects everything. Okay. So
Okay.
next week we will be discussing the gua of health. All right. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. Remember that all the sessions have been recorded and are available on the West Orange Public Library YouTube channel. Okay. So
Billy, I
I'll be
want to
talking
thank you
soon,
again.
Jose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for everybody for participating.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You really
Thank you. Have a
enjoyed this
good
one.
day, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, and Happy New Year.
What was that, Amy?
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New
Happy
Year
New
to
Year. Happy New
everybody.
Year.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. Great. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.